Thanks, Eben. Good morning. Yes, we're bringing you newsroom from the middle of the Karoo today because this is where our big story is happening. But Eben, always with this kind of a story, numbers are always a big thing, but we're getting a better picture of how many are injured at the moment. We now know for a fact that there are 19 people, serious but critical, in Port Elizabeth. 12 of them are women, 7 of them are men, and they have been transported. They were transported quickly yesterday to the Dora Nginza hospital. It's a specialized burns unit hospital in Port Elizabeth, and another patient with serious leg injuries is at Livingston in the ICU. So we know those numbers. Those are the seriously injured patients, and we know also now a number of other patients have been taken in at hospitals in the surrounding area. So that's where we are with the numbers at the moment. 19 critical but stable.
The town must be, I suppose, in the Karoo, it's very quiet. It's not the kind of town where these kinds of things happen all the time. They must be in a bit of shock in Middleburg.
No, Eben, they are. I'm going to ask our cameraman, Kwenga, to give you an idea of just how big this explosion was. The factory you're seeing is the factory now that is directly behind me. The explosion was so big that it actually blew the roof off. It blew the windows out. I'm standing in the street. It is covered in glass. It's a perfume-making factory, so all around me there are deodorant bottles, roll-on bottles, perfume bottles. The litter is everywhere. And the blast was so big that the houses on the other side of the road, their windows were blown out. And I spoke to a lady who lives in one of the houses opposite, and she said to me, Janine, I couldn't believe it. She said, I thought it was an earthquake, and she dived under the table. But it's something that the Karoo hasn't seen. This is a typical small Karoo town. But what everybody is saying is that the reaction was phenomenal. The injured were transported, airlifted to hospitals, and the community participation was absolutely amazing. So we can be grateful for that, Eben.
Do we have any idea as to the cause of the explosion? There are talks of arson and that being investigated by the police. What are they saying?
As we speak, Eben, they were dousing out odd bits of smouldering flame, so that's how hot it was. And as we speak now, the first teams of forensic investigators, crime scene, have gone into the building. And just behind them, they've got the K9 unit with their sniffer dogs. 2 sniffer dogs are going in. They believe that everybody is accounted for, but they just want to make sure with the sniffer dogs. And at this stage, we have no indication of what caused the blaze, but probably a little bit later today, I'm sure details will start to emerge what the cause was. We know there was a massive explosion. We believe it was a gas tank. There are a number of tanks apparently under the floorboards in this particular laboratory. And so we expect some sort of indication of what happened to come out today.
And I'm sure, being a perfume factory, there must have been lots of other flammable liquids in the mix as well. But I wanted to ask you also, did you manage to speak maybe to any of the injured or any witnesses? Have you had any eyewitness accounts on this?
We have, Eben, they said that the sound was absolutely phenomenal. They couldn't believe what they were hearing, and people just ran for their lives. I spoke to the police station commander in this area, and she said she got here soon after the blast. She saw a man running out of this factory. Half of his face had been burnt away, and emergency personnel had to put a trajectory, or what they call that, into his neck to assist him to breathe. Lots of leg wounds, and some eyewitnesses say that people were running. Their clothes had virtually been burnt off their bodies. So today, but just to give you an idea, Eben, this factory has been in this area for 40 years. It employs 350 up to 500 casual people at any time. So it's a miracle at this stage that we have absolutely no fatalities, and we can only hope that it stays this way. Management have issued a statement that they're going to Port Elizabeth to visit the severely injured, and they are going to assist families wherever they are. And a positive, just a month ago, they had a big safety audit and they came out tops. So probably one of the reasons why that fatalities are nil at this stage.
Thank you very much, Janine. I'm sure you'll keep us updated throughout the rest of the day on all the other shows as to how this story develops. And also, I'm sure there are lots of families that would be interested in the state of the injured down in Port Elizabeth. Thank you very much, Janine Lee in Middleburg, giving us an update after a gas explosion that injured more than 40 people in the small Karoo town